For years, John Gotti appeared untouchable. He walked out of courtrooms smiling, surrounded by reporters and camera flashes, projecting confidence and control. The press called him the Teflon Don because charges seemed unable to stick, but the same visibility that helped build his reputation would ultimately lead to his downfall. Unlike earlier Mafia leaders who operated quietly, Gotti embraced publicity. He spoke openly outside courthouses, wore expensive suits, and allowed the media to turn him into a public figure. Inside law enforcement, this created a growing concern and an opportunity. Investigators began to understand that Gotti's need for visibility exposed vulnerabilities previous bosses had avoided. By the late 1980s, federal authorities intensified surveillance efforts against the Gambino crime family. The FBI placed wiretaps in locations where leadership meetings occurred, including social clubs associated with the organization. These recordings captured conversations about internal disputes, leadership decisions, and criminal activities. For prosecutors, this represented something critical: direct evidence linking leadership to operations. But surveillance alone was not enough. The most significant turning point came from inside the organization. Gotti's underboss, Sammy the Bull Gravano, made the decision to cooperate with federal prosecutors. This was one of the most consequential defections in modern Mafia history. Gravano provided detailed testimony describing the structure of the organization, the decision-making process, and Gotti's role in multiple crimes. His cooperation transformed the case. For the first time, prosecutors combined wiretap evidence with insider testimony, a powerful combination under RICO law. In 1992, John Gotti stood trial in federal court. Unlike previous trials, this case was built on extensive recordings, corroborated testimony, and organizational evidence demonstrating leadership responsibility. The image of the untouchable boss began to collapse. The courtroom that once symbolized his victories now became the stage for his downfall. Gotti was convicted on multiple counts, including racketeering and murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The man who once dominated headlines and public attention was now removed from the world he had controlled. Inside prison, Gotti's influence declined significantly. The highly public style that defined his leadership had contributed directly to the government's ability to dismantle his power. John Gotti died in prison in 2002, but his fall carried lasting consequences beyond one individual. His case demonstrated that organized crime leadership could be prosecuted using coordinated evidence strategies. It validated the effectiveness of wiretaps, informants, and RICO prosecutions against high-ranking Mafia figures. More importantly, it changed how Mafia leaders behaved. After Gotti, visibility became a liability. Future bosses returned to secrecy, avoiding media attention and public exposure. In this way, Gotti's rise reshaped the image of organized crime, and his fall reshaped its behavior. John Gotti became a symbol of both Mafia power and its limits. His fame made him legendary. His visibility made him vulnerable. And his downfall became one of the most important moments in the history of organized crime.